Okay, so guys, I just want to talk to you a little bit about career exploration and kind of just some ideas. Now, when you're considering looking for a career, don't pigeonhole yourself to say, well, only these careers mean I'm successful, so I have to do these things, okay? I want you to just kind of completely broaden your mind right now, and we're going to look at just what is best for you as a person and for you to explore things, okay? Because, and what I'm saying is, okay, you might think, all right, well, you know, society makes me feel like in order to be a successful person, I need to go to university. Well, not necessarily. Is university a good choice for you? I don't know, okay? You need to look at multiple things before you really decide what career is best for you. Now, I say this because, you know, you guys, you might, okay, well, here, let's just talk about a couple things. You don't have to write this down. But the main things that will affect your choice on a career is 4 main things that will impact you, and it will determine if you're happy or not in your career. And that's quality of life, your abilities and skills, your income, and any education or training needed. Okay? So,
can I have your attention, please? Would all teachers please log out of PowerSchool? It is going to be down for the day. Sorry for the inconvenience. Thank you.
okay. So, your quality of life. If you really, really value family and spending time at home, you should not go into a career where you're spending a lot of time away from home, like trucking. Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you really value that quality time with people, you shouldn't pick jobs where you're by yourself or away from people, right? That's about quality of life. How do you want to live on a daily basis? What is important to you? Okay? So this is what is important to you. How do you want to live? Quality of life can also mean like kind of your work environment. Do you really hate being dirty and messy? Then you shouldn't go into, you know, some trades can be very messy, like mechanicking is a very dirty job, okay? Or say you really hate being inside all the time, then you should not be in an office job, right? You know, you need to think about your quality of life because, you know, if you have a full-time job, you'll be in that work environment for at least 40 hours a week. That's a lot of hours. If you hate being inside by yourself, working at an office job, you would not be happy, right? So those are things that you need to consider when you're looking at a career. Then your abilities and skills. What are you naturally good at and what can you learn? Okay? If you struggle with math, you probably shouldn't go to university to become a math professor, right? Right? Like it's just, it might challenge your natural abilities too much. You can have the skills to develop sufficient knowledge of math that you need for daily life, but maybe like you're limited to be like, yeah, to be like an engineer or something, right? Like you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're stretching your boundaries so far that you hate it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, say for me as a teacher, if I hated planning and organization, I would really not like this job, okay? Because I spend about as much time as I spend teaching you, I spend planning, okay? So I spend, you know, 6 hours or 5 hours teaching a day. I have to spend about 5 hours planning a day, okay, or marking. So if I didn't like those things, I wouldn't like this job. Or if I didn't like people, this would be a bad job, right? Because I'd have to work with people. I would be grumpy. It only happens once in a while, right? Okay. Income. Okay. If a large income is very important to you, and that is also impacts quality of life. If you want a huge house and a big boat and a lot on the lake and this and that, you're going to need a really big income. But think about this. If you need a really big income for all those toys, you're not going to be having that much time to spend with those toys because you're going to have to be working so hard to pay them off. You know what I'm saying? Unless you get some like sweet corporate job, I don't know. But you need to be mindful of your quality of life and your income. If you just want to kind of, you want to make ends meet, have some to contribute to fun things for your family, you need to consider kind of what jobs will give you certain incomes. That's just a reality of life. Money is a part of everybody's lives, and so you need to consider that income. Education and training. If your career that you seek, do you maybe need to go to college, okay, or university? Okay, quiet in the hall, please. Even if you don't have to go to college or university, you have to recognize that most jobs will do some form of training. Like, say if you just want to go straight to the oil patch, well, you need your H2S, your WMIS, like you need to do certain safety training, and then they do continual training. So you just need to recognize what type of training or education will I need. Okay, so those are the main things when you're kind of looking at a career. And so don't pigeonhole yourself into saying, well, mom did this or dad did this, or this is all that's in Fairview. Just broaden your mind a little bit and say, what is available for me? What do I like? What would, think to yourself, what gets me excited? Okay, what gives me energy? Because if you have to go to work every day and you're like, wow, this sucks, the energy out of life, and I hate this, you're not going to enjoy much. And as Christians, we're encouraged to find joy in everything, but there's kind of a limit to, if you're having to wake up and be like, okay, come on, like, I can do this, like, it's every day, you're going to be tired from that. So anyways, think to yourself, and actually write this down. And write down your answer to the first thing that comes to mind. What gives me energy or makes me excited? And it could be anything. Spending time with people just gets you really stoked. Write that down. What gives you energy? If you thought you had to do something productive tomorrow, like you couldn't just sit around in your pajamas, but you had to do something productive tomorrow, what would you do? Okay, so